Hello, hello again. I'm Jonas.
Hi, I'm Jackie.
And we want to welcome you to a Wednesday Night Live edition of our Fit Families of Faith Wednesday Night Live broadcast here in 15minute.fitness. Once again, we are in the classroom. It's been a while since we've opened up the classroom, but I needed the whiteboard tonight because we've got a really interesting topic that has a lot of math, okay? Lots of numbers. And I want it to be very clear to you because this is something that we see in advertisements a lot. And we ran across this one just recently. Lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Hey, that's pretty grandiose, right?
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Who doesn't want to do that? Now let's put on our skeptic's hat and see if it's possible. 30 pounds in 30 days. That sounds pretty extreme, right? I mean, my clients don't lose 30 pounds in 30 days, so you would probably think that I'd be on the side of saying that's impossible. Quite the opposite. It's very possible. Not only is it very possible, it's not that hard. And I'll show you how. Mathematically, walking you through every step of the way. All right? It all kind of depends on what your priorities are. Okay. So, 30 pounds in 30 days. What are we talking about? We're talking about scale weight. We want the scale to drop 30 pounds in 30 days. All right? So, here's our objective. 30 pounds in 30 days. And here's the weight we want to lose. 30 pounds. We're going to keep a running total here. And I've got my lovely assistant, Jackie, on calculator duty. So here we go. All right, so if I were to design a program for my clients to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, what would I do? Okay, the very first thing that I would do...
Cut calories.
Well, no. Actually, first, let's use this as a teaching moment. There are 3 different macronutrients. Macronutrients are simply nutrients that you take into your body that contain energy. All right? There's 3 different ones. Can you name them?
Carbs, protein, and fat.
You betcha. Okay. And your body, yeah, she's our A+ student. She's Miss Valedictorian here. That's right. And math major, right? Okay. So she should probably be doing this, but she's being very gracious. Yeah. I'm the philosophy major, and, philosophy rests upon logic, and math is a closed logical system. Anyway, okay, shut up, Professor Jonas. All right, so think about this. The body stores energy, okay? Excess energy that you take in, your body stores it in different places. Fat, where do you store fat?
Under your skin is...
Body fat, yeah, okay. Protein.
In your muscles.
That's right, that's what muscle tissue is made out of. Stored protein. And carbohydrates. You know where your body stores carbohydrates?
Glycogen in your
That's
muscles.
right, yes. Your body stores carbohydrates in glycogen, in your muscles, and in your liver. Okay, that's a ready store of sugar for your body to use in semi-intense activity. All right, so the very first thing that I would do to drop some scale weight quickly is to eliminate those carbohydrates. Number 1, I'm going to eliminate carbs. All right, so, and then I'm going to do glycogen depleting workouts. I'm going to do a glycogen depletion. That's probably going to look like a week of HIIT training, okay? High intensity interval training. It's not of a high enough threshold to actually provoke muscle building, but it's above a low intensity state, so it taps into the glycolytic energy system. So in order to completely divest my body of stored carbohydrates, I'm going to eliminate them from my diet, and I'm going to deplete them by using up all the stored energy in my body. Okay? Why? Well, okay, you store about 15 grams of glycogen per kilogram. Okay, so about 15 grams per kilogram. I'm about 100 kilos. Okay, so that's about 1,500 grams. Can you convert that into pounds for me? 454 grams per pound. Okay, so divide by 454 grams per pound equals?
50, I made a mistake. For 450, it's about 3.33.
About 3.33. Okay, so that is about 3.33 pounds of stored sugar that I've just lost out of my body. All right? So we are down to about 26.67 pounds left to go. Hey, we're working our way down. Okay, here's the thing about glycogen. Every gram of glycogen binds to 3 grams of water. So, for every gram of glycogen that you lose 3 grams of water. For every pound of glycogen that you lose 3 pounds of water. So that's 9.99. We're down, we only need to lose 16.68 more pounds to get that 30 pounds off. And that was by doing nothing but depleting our glycogen stores and eliminating carbohydrates from our diet. That is some quick, easy weight off of us, scale weight off of us. Now, the next thing we need to determine. All right, so we're made up of fat, protein, and carbs, right? We've eliminated the carbs. What do we target now? Fat or muscle tissue? Well, here's an interesting thing about those macronutrients, fat and protein. Fat has 9 calories per gram. Protein has 4 calories per gram. Fat contains over twice as much energy as does protein. Fat is very energy dense. Every gram of fat has over twice as many calories as a gram of protein. So let's work that out to pounds. Okay? 9 calories times 454 grams, please, ma'am.
4,086.
4,086. All right, times 4 now.
454 times 4.
Yes, ma'am.
1816.
1860. Okay, so 1 pound of muscle tissue has 1,816 calories in it. 1 pound of fat tissue has 4,086 calories in it. Meaning I can burn muscle over twice as fast as I can burn fat. I only have to create an 1,800 calorie deficit to burn an entire pound of muscle. Whereas I would have to create a 4,000 calorie deficit to burn an entire pound of fat. It's much easier. I can burn muscle twice as fast as I can burn fat. Okay, so I'm trying to drop the scale. 30 pounds in 30 days. So my next easy target, muscle tissue. Let's attack that muscle tissue. So what we need to do, if I need to lose about 16 more pounds, excuse me, over the course of 31-ish days, it's a little over a half a pound a day, right? Because I've already eliminated all the way down, I only have 17 left. So a little over a half pound a day. So I need to make a deficit of about 900 calories to lose a half pound of muscle. Okay? 900 calorie a day deficit. Okay, my maintenance calories are 28 to 3,000. Yeah, I burn a lot of calories. My resting metabolic rate, last time it was measured, is over 30% of a normal person my size. And I earned that. I built that. I wasn't always that way. If you've seen my fat pictures, as a kid and as an adult, you know I don't have a naturally fast metabolism. I built that. How? Building muscle. Than a normal human being, you also will burn 30% more calories. It's math. All right? So, a 900 calorie deficit. Let's just call it 1,000. Okay? Just to make things easy. And my marker's not wanting to work, right? So 1,000 calories a day from, let's say my maintenance is 2,700. So all I have to do is eat 1,700 calories a day. Okay? Times 30 days. And that will be another 16-ish pounds off. Okay? And look, for every pound of muscle that I drop, that's not just, if you cut into my muscle right here, it's not dry. It also attaches to water. So I'll probably lose another 5 pounds of water just by losing 16 pounds of muscle tissue, protein, straight protein, right? Now, how do I make sure that I don't, I attack the muscle tissue? Well, don't eat protein. What is muscle tissue made of? Protein. So the last thing I want to eat in my diet is protein. I don't want to preserve the muscle tissue and tap into the fat stores. I'd have to eat far fewer calories, right? I want to attack those protein stores. So I want to eliminate protein. I'm going to switch markers on me. All right. Eliminate protein from my diet. That way I'm sure that I'm not preserving muscle tissue. Because if I do, then I won't lose as much weight. It takes twice as many calories, a deficit of twice as many calories to lose fat weight as it does protein. So, okay, I want you to examine this. What's the outcome? The outcome of this is I have lost 13.33 pounds of water and over 16 pounds of muscle. And I have dropped 30 pounds in 30 days. Congratulations! Congratulations. It's very easily done. It's really very easily done. Okay? And if I want to make sure, if I want to accelerate the process, then I'll add cardio to the mix. That will help me cannibalize my muscle tissue even faster. All right? And the last thing I want to do is touch any weights, because I don't want to preserve muscle tissue, I want to burn it. Why? To get that scale to drop. That's my objective. Okay. Am I advocating this? Am I telling you to go do this? Please, for the love of God, no. Please do not do this. Please do not do this. I am not trying to give you a blueprint to drop the scale in 30 days. I'm trying to expose a major fallacy, and I'm trying to expose how the snake oil salesmen out there are preying upon you. Okay? Because what does this look like? Low carb diet, low protein. What's left to eat? High fat. High fat, low carb, low protein. Sounds kind of like the modern day iteration of ketogenic diets. That's the exact perfect diet that we want to use to lose muscle. And what sort of exercise should we do? No resistance training, only cardio, especially high intensity interval training. That would be the absolute perfect way to cannibalize that muscle tissue. You guys, it's not that hard to take scale weight off you. And that's why these snake oil salesmen can put up these grandiose claims, 30 pounds in 30 days. They can do it. I can get 30 pounds off you in 30 days, but you know what? It'll be 13 pounds of water and 17 pounds of muscle. That's not what you want, I promise. It's
what
not what you
happens
want.
long term? If I burn 17 pounds of muscle tissue, what happens to me long term?
Well, first of all, realize this, okay? What we're obsessed with weight. And what we need to be obsessed with is fat, okay? Focusing on weight is 1950s science, really. What was the going rate? What was the going metric? BMI. Everybody was obsessed with BMI. What's your BMI? A BMI has two factors in consideration, height and weight. According to the BMI charts, I'm obese. I'm borderline morbidly obese, right? Why? Because it doesn't make the distinction between fat and muscle tissue. It's just weight and height. Those are the only two variables. Look, it's been shown that the one single metric that most closely correlates with obesity-related disease, for risk of obesity-related disease, is not weight. It's body fat percentage. Okay? And if body fat percentage is a function of your muscle mass and your fat mass, what's going to happen to your body fat percentage if your muscle mass decreases and your fat mass stays the same?
Your body fat percentage increases.
You can be 30 pounds lighter and have a worse body fat percentage because you have sacrificed muscle tissue, putting yourself in greater jeopardy of obesity-related illnesses. And guess what? The scale will love you at that point. You'll love what you see. And when you look in the mirror, you'll hate it. You absolutely hate it. Okay? But look, I sympathize and I get it. All right? It was not that long ago that I was 80 pounds overweight and I hated what I saw in the mirror. And I can remember looking in the mirror and just wanting to see a smaller version of me at all costs. I didn't care. Luckily, I ran into a coach, okay? a world-class master's level bodybuilder who made me aware, who ran me through this exercise and made me aware that it was not straight scale weight that was important. It was body fat percentage. Okay? Body fat percentage is what matters for risk of obesity-related illnesses, and body fat percentage dictates what you see in that mirror. Okay? It translates to you will like what you see. So look, you guys, I want you, the takeaway, what's the takeaway from this? I want you to be less fixated on weight and more fixated on body fat percentage. Okay? Losing muscle mass like this is the easiest way to drop weight on the scale, but it's the last thing in the world you want to do. Unless you are in a $1 million Biggest Loser contest. If you are in a $1 million plus Biggest Loser contest, go for it. You'll trash your body and set yourself back at least a year of progress, but you made $1 million. Hopefully you can bounce back. But if you're not getting paid $1 million to trash your body, why would you do it? And why on earth would you pay somebody else to guide you through the process of trashing your body and setting yourself back? Look, guys, whether you are coached by us or by somebody else, just please make sure that you have your priorities straight. Make sure that you understand the big picture and that it's not all about weight. It's more about body fat percentage. The people in our program, they rarely lose weight in the first month. Very rarely. Why? Because we use that first month to build muscle. We are building muscle to burn that fat off later. And then the last 8 weeks of the program, you're going to lose 10 to 30 pounds. But it's not all about weight. It's about fat. Okay? So, look, I encourage you to please think things through. Please think things through. And open your minds. Educate yourself so that you can discern when people are trying to feed you a line of nonsense. You guys, you don't want to be skinny fat. You don't want to be 100 pounds of skin, bone, and fat. That's not a pretty picture, and it's not a healthy picture. Be strong, be healthy, be vital. Be what you were made to be, right? I speak to you out of love, and I'm sorry if I got long-winded, but there's the math. Can you lose 30 pounds in 30 days?
You can.
You certainly can. Do you want to?
No.
No way. No. So anyway, find some sustainable program that is high protein and utilizes resistance training. Build that muscle to burn that fat. Lower your body fat percentage, regardless of what that does to the scale. I'd rather be 200 pounds and with a low body fat percentage and rocking it on the beach than 150 pounds and just drawn up and with cellulite dimples everywhere. All right?
Right?
Yeah.
We're not going to walk around the beach with a sign that says, hey, I weigh 120. No, no one cares.
No.
They just care what you look like.
You wear your body. And you know what? You live with your body. And your health markers, when you get your blood pressure taken and go to the doctor, they measure your actual body, not a number on the scale. Anyway, we speak to you out of love, and I hope you got something out of this. I hope this somehow, I hope this makes you think. If nothing else, I hope it makes you think. All right? Our approach is build muscle to lose fat long-term for life. Might take a little longer to see that scale go down, but you know what? At the end of the day, your results are so much better, and they're sustainable, and they're healthy, and you are strong and looking good.
All right. If you stayed around till the end and you want to know what we are having for dinner that's already made and took less than 15 minutes, drop the word dinner in the comments below, and tomorrow you will get a PM from me.
Woo-hoo, and it's a good one, y'all. I promise. It always is. We love you, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.